Hey guys, how you doing? So as you see, I want to do a little kind of review on the Anso Funk. Now it's not so much of a review, but I want to talk about a little bit about the knife, about the designs, the shapes and everything. I've been asked many times like if the blade shape isn't unpractical and you know all that stuff, and I really love this knife. You know, this is my grail knife. It was ever since I've seen it first time. I love the crazy shape, I love the looks, love the handle. It's a great knife. I'm not the biggest fan of all Anso's designs, but Funk is definitely my favorite knife out of all the knives. You know, it's the knife for me. You know, it's beautiful. It's actually very functional. It's not crazy expensive considering some other custom, you know, knives, and it has it all. There is very few things that I would change on this knife, and it's great. So some basic stuff. Jens uses that RWL34 stainless steel. I have not much experience with it so far on this knife. It held pretty good. It's a decent steel. Like I said, it's not very usual steel. You don't see it often, but it looks like it's a good stuff. It holds decent edge and it's nice. There's no rusting. I've carried this knife plenty in my pockets and there is no rusting from the sweat and stuff like that. I've cut up some food with it and didn't go crazy with cleaning, and again, no rusting on it. So far so good. The steel is pretty decent. It's a titanium frame lock. One thing, pocket clip. It's only tipped down on the right hand carry. I would love to have it tip up, you know. It's just my preferred carry. I wished it would be tapped for, you know, to be able to swap it. Unfortunately it isn't. Jens' lock frame is exceptional. There is no sticking. It's kind of like Hinderer or Sebenza. Actually I heard that Sebenza is sticking. The one I had, I never had it sticking, but this one, no matter how much you flick, no matter how hard I used the knife before, it never stuck, you know. It's always nice and easy. It's rock solid, you know, there is no play, and it's perfect, you know. Right now it's about 50%. I can't wait to use it even more, to go even deeper, but even now it's, you know, it's good, solid, and there's nothing to worry about this, you know, coming loose. I'm not gonna spine whack it. I'll never did it, never gonna do it. It's no point of spine whacking a knife to see if it will disengage. It came originally with the yellow Anso scale. Jeff cannot find it. I have the lightning strike what Jeff Tough Thumbs did. It's beautiful too. I would love to have the original Jens's you know, G10 scale because it was very pretty, but what you gonna do? Very pretty stonewash on Jens's work. I've noticed that on a couple of his knives that pass through my hands. I don't know if you will be able to pick it up on the camera if it focuses. It's that super fine, very fine stonewash. He's gotta be using one of the really fine small media, maybe even the walnut shells and stuff like that. Very pretty, very nice touch. Same thing for titanium. You see that very uniform, very nice finish on it. It has a hollow grind. Now you guys know that I do not like hollow grind knives, but that being said, on this knife the hollow grind is actually so lean. I'm gonna try to give you this view. You see on this side it has that funky grind, that the one side is hollow grind all the way from the spine up, pretty much from the spine down to the edge, and this side is kind of like a saber hollow, you know. You see where it's flat, and then so it's kind of different angles. But if you notice that it comes across the whole height of the blade. I don't know if he used such a really big diameter wheel or if he used one of those plates that you can put on your platen and it kind of creates a hollow grind, but it's good, you know. For a hollow grind, it's actually nice and thin on the edge. It's nice and thin throughout the blade, you know. It doesn't have abrupt, it doesn't get suddenly thicker and thicker like a lot of other hollow grinds. It just nice fluently thickens little by little, so it doesn't have that much of a resistance like most of the hollow grinds, which is good for cutting. Next thing, what I would like to different, but I've noticed, I've mentioned it in many videos, a lot of knife makers, a lot of frame lock guys, a lot of titanium frames and handles don't do that. There is very little bit of beveling on the edges. You see it there, that edge is almost squared off, just like microscopic beveling, just to knock off that corner. I wish it would be rounded off nicely. I think it would look nicer, it would definitely feel better in the hand, but it's not bad, it's not super uncomfortable. It would be more comfortable if it was beveled a little more, but you know, it's maker's pick. He decided to do it that way. I'm willing to respect that as his choice. Now, a lot of people ask about the actual shape of the knife. Now, here's the nice thing, what I like about it. It has, if you think about it, it has everything. You have nice and pointy tip that isn't overly fragile. You see it. It's nice and fine, so you can get that fine work with it, but it's not crazy thin because of the way it's ground. You see on this side the hollow grind doesn't start up very high, so it's only about half an inch high from the very edge, so that gives you pretty decent sturdy tip. Now you have that straight portion here and straight portion here connected in that belly. What it gives you is, when you have the knife in this position, it gives you that function of the knife what I prefer on my knives, when you have the handle going this way and blade going this way. That means when you're cutting, you know, your natural, the strongest grip is when you pushing with your hand this way, straight up. When you don't try to put your hand this way, or you know, like that, actually just straight up when your arm is this way and fist is this way. That gives me good angle on this edge here to put quite a lot of force into the cut, and it feeds the blade into the cut, you know, this direction. It's not a lot of blade, it's a little bit, but it gives me a lot of force I can put into that cut. And then you have this straight portion here, which lets me, if I need to, look at that. You see, I have the whole edge of that front straight portion on the cutting surface, and my knuckles just clear the cutting board. So I can use this, and this is like strong grip, no? I can actually use this to cut without my hand being in the way of the cutting board, which is really nice, you know. Also can get nice control of the tip when I position my index finger here on the nice curve here. I have pretty good control of the tip. I can choke up on the tip also, the way it comes down. You know, I have my pinky on the bottom in the index finger groove, kind of like a finger choil. It's not very pronounced, but because of the way the handle is shaped downwards, you have very secure grip. You don't have to worry about hand actually sliding down. You see how it looks like it would, but actually this is just enough to have good retention on that handle. So you don't have to be worried about sliding down if you were to stop something, or you know, stuff like that. And again, you know, frame lock, the whole point of the frame lock, that's why I never care about how, you know, if you spine lock it. When I'm holding this, it's not disengaging. My hand is pushing on the frame, it's keeping that blade open, it's not gonna close. Also, you see the design that even if you were to close it somehow, it's close, but it's not cutting me. It might look a little deceiving in this, you can see it in that view. It does look like it's very close, but it's actually still just that flat bottom portion of the blade, kind of where the ricasso would be. That's the only thing that's touching my hand when I'm in the regular grip. It's not the actual edge, so I don't have to really worry about being cut if that close on my hand. Reverse grip, same thing. Not that I ever use my knife in reverse grip, but it's very comfortable. You know, my hand. Now that's another thing. That handle is made for a small hand, so if you have a larger hand, it might not fit you really well. It might really be kind of annoying because your pinky would come too much into this spike here. My small hand fits there perfectly, you know, it really is like it was made for my hand. That being said, also, it's a folding knife, you know, funky folding knife. it's not something I would take with me when I go to the woods and when I expect that I might be carving some wood or, you know, do some heavy cutting tasks out there. So take that into the consideration also. And I love this knife. Very pretty knife, very good knife. Like I said, not that expensive. You can actually find this in when you get lucky, you can find this at $600–700. I know it's a lot of money, but there is only a handful of this made from Jens, and his work is pretty expensive. His name is out there, and it's pretty valuable. You know, you never really have problems reselling this. Thumbstat, I mean the spider cohol, kinda, you know, yeah, spider cohol. I think it's, yeah, that's what it is. It's spider cohol. Very convenient. It's perfectly located. The blade is nice and smooth, and this actually has only, I think, actually nylon washers, not even phosphor bronze. It's very smooth. It's easy to open no matter how, you know, if you do the spider drop or the backflip with the middle finger or anything. It's very easy to open. Works really well. Titanium looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, so it's not just one of those crazy overbuilt knives. It's just nice, funky looking, good functioning knife, and I like it. No jimping, I don't care. The handle is designed well. There is no need for jimping. Never have that need on a good knife. Never have that need of, you know, wishing like, oh, I wish there was a jimping. Never had that. So guys, I recommend it. I love it. You can see actually from all the scratches and everything, you see that I've been using this knife pretty heavily. I don't baby it. I don't, you know, I don't want to ruin it. I try not to ruin it, but I do use it heavy. I did resharpen it a couple of times. That's one tricky part about that knife, about that crazy shape. It's kind of tricky to resharpen it, but you just cannot be worried about scratching it sometimes, you know. Also because of the hollow grind and everything, you're gonna manage to scratch it here and then, like I did on the tip. That's actually from sharpening. It's not even so much from the use, but actually from the sharpening. It's a tricky one, but it's doable. You see, I did it, and I do manage to keep it nice and sharp all the time. So guys, hope you enjoyed this little kind of review. Like I said, very few things I would change about the knife. It's beautiful, it's functional, it's gonna have good resale value if you ever want to sell it, I think, because his work is scarce. It doesn't make that many knives, and I think it's gonna be only bigger and bigger. But again, not everybody stays. It's really out there. So I don't know. You know, we all like different things, and I love this one. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and remember, don't cut yourself.